It's a very somber and humbling feeling, knowing the power that Mother Nature has just to take something away in a split second. So much has changed in terms of how you can enjoy the land in which you live, and it's not for the best. These changes that I'm seeing in the country that I love are very disconcerting, very sad. I'm Jim Hoffman, and I'm a cameraman here in Chicago for Al Jazeera. Between us, it's tragic how increasingly often I'm having to tell these stories. This year's fire season is definitely the worst on record in Canada. A large part of them have been started by lightning, which, as temperature rises, so do the number of lightning strikes. Just seeing the amount of devastation that a fire can do, it's very emotional.
Oh, business keys. Oh, don't need those anymore.
Because this could just be anyone's town. You see the Tim Hortons or the school that's been damaged, and it's quite upsetting. I grew up in a idyllic, truly Canadian town. In small town Alberta, in a town called Thorsby. Weather was always a factor in your life, whether you're surviving it or enjoying it. Every day after school, I'd rush home and me and my friends would go out snowmobiling. Now, winters are nowhere near what they used to be when I was growing up. There's sometimes no snow until December. When I was a kid, we had a cabin at a lake, and the lake would always be at a certain level, and the water would be fresh. Nowadays, the lake is nowhere near the height it used to be. Every year there's problems with the algae, fish dying. The whole lake has changed just over my lifetime. Many of the wildfires are in very remote areas, very hard to get to. The governments aren't able to manage this number of fires. This is unprecedented times. It would cost billions and billions of dollars to try and fight each and every one of these fires. They're just letting them burn. But the downside is this is creating a huge amount of smoke that is affecting the whole continent. In Chicago, we had one of the worst days I've ever experienced, and I've lived in Canada where smoky days happen every summer. For the first time in my life, I experienced eyes irritated, the burning kind of almost eye-watering discomfort. And you could feel your lungs trying to deal with the smoke. The fact that it's affecting major cities in Chicago, New York, Washington is probably waking up a lot of the world to how serious climate change really is affecting not just locally, but internationally. So over the years, I've done a lot of interviews with scientists talking about forest fires and ways to deal with them and manage them. What I've noticed over the years is their thinking themselves have changed. At one time, they're talking about how we can reverse climate change. I'm hearing less and less talk about how we can stop this, but more about how we're going to have to adapt. It's a bit disconcerting when even the scientists themselves seem more pessimistic about the ability to reverse this change. As humans, we're going to have to adapt, whether it means moving where we live or what kind of plants we have around our homes, or just general ideas about changing how we drive. We're having to adapt our lifestyle because of smoke and wildfires. It's an unstoppable change.